First of all, income or Johnny so AG politics avenue. Podcast are certain because make headlines. And a jemre na edibi exumo or need me yahu raximu, Uniam shock say young queen simu. Afenyo Watkins ija egunichum enya asem koto akra na nina se eye the constituency eye afutu na yanyan tie se delegates e ohono ohio mugutupa se omo enkoto abano emfama eye Kennedy e Japan. Na ono akasa echa party supporters no esusu egu eye nechimu no oni enye asem koto a ababontin abayino ho ano. At this point in time memo enwura insimnim na enhwe ne yeko ene deba.
We've lost connection to Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ again. But in the meantime, though, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo has shot down allegations that he influenced a Futu constituency delegates to vote for Kennedy Japan. Well, the allegations were rife, especially on the voting day, where some delegates called out the MP over what they described as intimidation tactics. The minority leader has, however, in a statement released on his X account, debunked the allegations. Here are excerpts of that particular statement. In part, it says, since the beginning of the flag bearer contest, I have been targeted by certain unscrupulous individuals, yet throughout I have remained calm and focused. This spurious allegation is merely the latest in a series of plots orchestrated by my adversaries. At one point, a manipulated video was widely circulated, falsely claiming that I had not applauded a particular candidate during their introduction at the signing of the Peace Pact at the Alisa Hotel on January 22nd, 2026. These vile tactics are as transparent as they are desperate. As a committed servant of Ghana Parliament, the New Patriotic Party and Efutu, I have adhered strictly to all Electoral Commission and party leadership guidelines throughout this process. At no point have I been anywhere near the voting area as claimed, nor have I engaged in any conduct that could be construed even remotely as undue influence. My presence in the constituency today has been limited strictly to exercising my franchise and undertaking lawful oversight in full compliance with the rules that govern us all. I welcome anyone who wishes to verify the facts for themselves to come to Winneba and observe the process firsthand. Journalists and media organizations covering today's exercise are well placed to provide independent, objective accounts of events on the ground. Truth and transparency are our strongest defenses against falsehood. So that's the statement that was released by the minority leader and MP for Efutu, Alexander Afenyo, to defend his stance as to whether or not he influenced delegates in his constituency to vote in the direction of Kennedy Japan. And my colleague Caleb Ziblim of the Joy News Research Desk has been breaking down the number from the Efutu constituency. And let's watch this.
Well, this is because if you look at the Efutu and you look at how Dr. Bawumias dropped in terms of votes, many are saying that, well, pointing fingers, and the minority leader has already spoken. If you compare 2023 to 2026, how Kennedy Japan increases votes about 30% from some 544 to about 655 in Efutu. That tells you how he was able to increase his votes. But if you look at Bawumias, for instance, he actually dropped in votes by 30%. Dropping vote by some 68%, dropping from about some 200 votes to about 79. That has actually, initiated those talks and people saying that maybe the minority that possibly was in the camp of Kennedy Japan, but he has actually debunked this allegation and said that, look, that is not true. But in fact, we should look at the general view of what happened on Saturday in terms of the performance of both candidates. And you can see Bawumias, they're winning by some 110,000 votes, more than that, and that was a dip from what he had in 2023. But the key picture is here, where Kennedy Japan himself dropped by some more than 20,000 votes on Saturday, and that actually gave Mahmoud Bawumia the chance to actually still lead the NPP. But I want you to look at this 7 or 6 regions plus the headquarters. These are the places that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia actually gained in votes. In fact, if you look at where he gained the votes, Greater Accra is number 1. He gained additional votes. If you compare his performance this year to 2023, 818 votes, Western region 441, Bono, where you have Abronye and Co there, he gained some 337 votes, Savannah, Central region, and the Northern region. And in fact, if you look at this, you could see that all 3 swing regions that usually would decide the national election, these are the places that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia actually gained in vote. There were also other places.
So Isaac Ofieje is the head of our research desk here at Joining us. Let's stay more on this for some analysis of the numbers. And Caleb Ziblim of our research desk is joining us in studio with more. Caleb, take us through the performance of the various MPP flag bearers in history.
Okay, so from what you just saw on TV, that was Kofi breaking down the results of Saturday's election.
Right.
Bawumia won by 110 votes, but that was a reduction from 118 to 110,000. Kennedy also, he dropped the bid from 71,000 to about 46,000 votes. And now we're trying to do some analysis on the flag bearers, and then when they come around the second time.
Right.
So if you look at from 1992, we had Idu Boahene. He won by 56%, but he wasn't retained. He was dropped off, and Kufuor came in 1996. Kufuor won by 51%. Then the next year, the next time, 1998, Kufuor was retained, and he went up by 64%.
Right.
So the first time Kufuor came around, 51%, then followed by 64%. Then he subsequently won the election in 2000. Then again, we have Akufo-Addo coming in 2007 with 47%. They didn't cross the 50+1 mark, and that had to lead to a runoff, which Alan Tremanson had dropped out and let Akufo-Addo win it. And then Akufo-Addo came back on the scene in 2010, this time with 78%, and then again in 2014 with 94%, and then he won the election in 2016. So as you can see from the trend, whenever you repeat a candidate, the second time he comes around, he increases his vote margin or his vote share.
Right.
Kufuor came 51, the next time 64. Akufo-Addo came 47, the next time 78, and then 94. But this is the first time we are seeing, a change in direction of the trend, because Bawumia came with 61%, and if you look at the trend, that's the highest any first timer has got. When Edu Boahene came the first time, he got 56%. Kufuor got 51%. Akufo-Addo got 47%, but Bawumia got 61%. Now, the only difference this time around is that the second time Bawumia was on the ballot for the flag bearership race, his votes actually dipped from 61% to about 56.4%, 56.48%.
So, whatever division, anxiety, tension came primarily from the context. Now, when the contestants themselves now commit themselves to come together, that is the first requirement for unity. So it is a very happy situation.
Well, Nana Kumia also stressed that the responsibility now rests largely on the flag bearer to take the lead in reconciling all factions and presenting a united front to the Ghanaian electorate.
Bearer would take the lead in getting everybody together and present one face to the country. That's what's going to happen. And the history also backs the position. Every time we've had a flag bearer election and a flag bearer is elected, the flag bearer, with the goodwill of the people who contested him, the flag bearer goes to everybody and gets everybody behind him. Fortunately for us at this time, it's even better because we have a bit of time. In the past, we had 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. We've never had 3 years like we have now. So I have every confidence that the party would come back together and prosecute one agenda.
Let's expand this conversation and go onto the telephone lines right now and engage political science lecturer at KNUST, Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ Boateng. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. As a political scientist, though, how should the MPP as a party and Bawumias as a candidate approach the reconciliation process?
Let's say good afternoon to the viewers. I like to believe that the way they conducted the presidential election, has started the reconciliation process, given the responses that came from the contestants who lost. Theoretically, in democratic election, it is the position of the losing candidate that either legitimizes the winner and go on to join the party or otherwise. So given that they all accepted the outcome as free and fair, and that the free, fair, and they are in that that huge, that cap among the.
Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ, I'm losing you. If you can kindly reposition yourself. I'm struggling to get what you're saying.
Okay. Let me see whether it's a little better now.
It is.
Good. So I was saying that acknowledgement of defeat, the contention of the other contestants, work function to legitimize Dr. Bawumias' position,
Right.
and all begin the reputation of they all take support to work with whatever part going forward. So that is the beginning. But then they will build on. They want to build on. I see the path going forward. The future.
Right. All right, Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ Boateng, we're struggling to hear you, but we will come back to him. We're trying to reconnect him back on the telephone lines, but you're still watching the pulse here on Joy News, and we're discussing the fallout from the MPP presidential primaries that happened last Saturday that saw former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumias elected again to lead the opposition MPP into the 2028 elections. Kennedy Japan, the former Asin Central MP, garnered a little over 23% of the votes, and we saw Dr. Mahamudu Bawumias also getting a little over 56% of the vote. And meanwhile, chairman of the Council of Elders for the MPP, Hackman Osuajiman, says the party's strategy to ensure unity does not matter so long as everyone works for the party. He spoke on Joy News Desk earlier.
Strategy is for me straightforward and simple. Whether whichever group you belong to, wherever constituency you are, police station you are, your job is to work for the advancement of the party. And I don't think there's a sort of strict laid down rule out where you start. Now we have a flag bearer who is very experienced and who is loved by the majority of the people of the party. They all come together and say that they were only five, one was bound to win, and he's won. So we all gather together, him holding the flag, give him the necessary push, and then making sure that our party becomes more attractive. Whatever we did must have gone wrong in the past, we have to correct. As I said, a human institution, we are not infallible. We might have made a couple of mistakes, but believe you me, we are determined to work at all these programs so that we will become one solid, consolidated party that will ensure that we win and that will get the confidence of the Ghanaian population.
Well, let's go back to Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ, who is a lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I believe the line is much clearer now, Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ. If you can hear me, I wanted to find out from you, from your point of view, how should the MPP as a party and Bawumias as a candidate approach the reconciliation process now that the elections are over?
I like on that process, but the party that were a criminal. Let's not be up and up.
Unfortunately, the phone lines are still not any better there. We're still struggling to establish connection with Dr. Ǎttǎcǩ, who is a lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, trying to share his expertise on the fallout from the MPP primaries that happened just this Saturday. And still on the reactions to the MPP primaries, though, some residents in the Ashanti region have expressed their opinions about the party electing Dr. Bawumias as its 2028 presidential candidate.
Oh, yes, Bawumias. So we're winning. And yet, Bawumias na winning. And yet, Oslo na winning. Etini yana say, "Ono mo be kabom." Na ko ohun say obefre Canada Japan obefre omo ono mo contesting say, "Oh, we dey asie bia na ye efie ba akumu na ye ko ayakonwa akoto na ye nyina yakopre." It is akonwa kopre abeto na ye pre na ba winning dia. From bom na mo nyina mo nka mum na be na NDC de omo nya ade bia ye chenchen so bia Brazil for ne ayi for no mo jai omo ne US enye business bi o no eno na ma dollar akofom anda Kwame Nkrumah breso besi ayi akufo ado abreso na Ghana ye gold board na gold na ye 10 tons opa omo se me bo am nko check eno achi no Kufo do buy what they call 36 tons.
Ne nyina achi no wo de ogide said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumias betimi win am MPP 2028.
Aye.
So that's an opinion from one of the drivers saying that he believes strongly that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumias can win the 2028 elections with the NPP. He said that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumias is visionary, he has a lot in his head, and he can secure the victory that the NPP is looking for in 2028. There's already a debate ongoing. Now maybe I will say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumias kunim die wa dwen che o se wo ho.
Ma dwen kire me no ma di kan state dada. Say ninkunim die no e lose my NPP straight up. Ninkunim die no lose my NPP. You were floating voters who and NPP for nkwa na ekoto abama amano asiafo no omo antie enipa ketua bi akwajeje sika kitenkete ahyehye omo botom ana omo decide ama omo aho enti se omo aho dia edane beduru no madi kaka edani beduru no omo senye omo nko na eto aba no anya say 200 na yi pe no na ekoto aba
na 2028 asem ne ka onji ni say ekwan wa dodo say obe conclude say Bawumias ntimi wini
ontimi wini efri say edi na record ben no obegina so say NPP yi Kennedy a Japan na ankabebua party no say Kennedy no e fomfo no o party na kam ye titrotro o tina kam mu a ensem anipa ka ensem amanfo ka o costos ne ade a yetiti afiafiem what I say yetiti afiafiem ye ne boys nso so di agro ensem amanfo ka ye floating voters.
Yeah, that's a pass. So that's an opinion from another driver who says that Dr. Bawumias cannot win for the NPP in 2028. He says that if they had brought Kennedy and Japan, it would have been easier than coming in with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumias. Let me speak to this woman. But Saturday no me so sorry MPP for abato no mkoto ye no. Omo Dr. Bawumias o wadwinchi no obetimi the MPP for abato 2028.
Oh, idonyamia se the omo ye no ne kwan so ano maye. Na Dr. Bawumias obetimi the MPP for aba because of say amamu no obebu bi pen nti onimu so nti ye nimu say obetimi aye nti ene ya say choose no say onsamla obetimi di yakọ was ye hwe 4 years 8 years coming na Mahama no ne Atamos na woso Atamos free mu no sebi me ba se be kai amanfo ya ofiri mu no ye hunu se ba mahama wa ye bi pen enu ogusu ye enti yesi ma ne chance no no ba ye na akufo adon so no baby pen ene ono so nya ne second chance enti ono ne second mahama second chance ne de wanya awie ofiri so the next batch no ono wo ba no Bawumia ye woni mu interest enti eni mu se wa ye bi pen ne de obetimi di akọ bo sha asase so enti ne ama ne da opportunity no se omlan o se Kennedy o ye hu ne amamuo da odo ya tete se wa bie enuma wa ye ne ma bebre ba enuma na wa bie is not enough.
Well, let's take you back to the KNUST campus and try to establish connection again with Dr. Amache Boateng. I want to believe you can hear me this time round, though. I was trying to find out how should the MPP approach the reconciliation now that the primaries are over?
Thank you. I was saying that they want to build on the support losing have promised Dr. Bawumias and the party. They may not necessarily send
Yes, Dr. Amache Boateng, I can hear you.
Going forward, the party is going to elect non leader. I like to take that, but they want a mix of it from full and internal leader. It's up out down to get it to overwhelm. If they're going a big and be and then you have
Right, unfortunately.
We ain't some how to call so I'm not so Jimre or her. Send us a wadi and the Adumi Adumiania. If I say shame, now you're small constant.